to date, you sold how much apparel?
Over 70 million. Some people want to have it all figured out.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like the beauty is in the journey. Like, you don't got to see the whole staircase. Just go up the step. Like, God is going to just do the steps, then the staircase is going to come. I Googled a business plan template. I started filling it out. I'm like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do. So let me just go. I ain't filling this template out because this is going to stop me. Like, me trying to have it all figured out is going to stop me from going. Yeah. And I'm an executor. I'm not really a planner. I'm learning to be better at planning, but I'm an executor. I'm just going to go. I was able to send like different celebrities and influencers my stuff. And at the time, it wasn't really influencers. So we didn't have to pay. I didn't have to pay to do that. So when they was wearing it and I would see a photo, I would just be like, screenshot and repost and be so happy. Yeah. And I will always share my customers. The celebrities definitely help because people love what celebrities wear, but representation matters. So when people see their own stuff in there, like, and they see people that look just like them and they see different body types wearing it, then they know, okay, it's not just for celebrities. Because sometimes when you just see a celebrity in something, you don't even go look at the price you think is expensive. Yeah. I had people say that they thought it was too much money because they seen celebrities in it. So some people didn't go look at it. But once they start to see like real people, real life people that look like them in it, that was like my influencers. They was like my brand ambassadors from the beginning because I always posted my customers in Milano.
All right, welcome to another edition of the Social Proof Podcast. Man, today is about to be amazing. We got a rock star here. You are a rock star. We got Milan. So your name is Milan, or no, your name is something else, but your brand name is Milano, but people call you Milan.
Yes.
So do you prefer people call you Milan or Milano?
They can call me Milan, Milano, or Millie. Like a lot of my employees and my team members, they call me Millie.
Why Millie?
That's what like the closest people to me call me Millie. Because it was hard for them to start calling me Milan from my real name. So
what's your real name?
Janika.
Janika?
Yes.
Janika to Millie to Milan to brand Milano.
So my name is Janika. When I was in college, I went to Lincoln University, and that's when Beyonce started to do like her Sasha Fierce era, and she had this alter ego, and I'm like, all right, I need an alter ego. So my girlfriend, she called me. She was like, John, I got a new name. So the closest people to me call me John. And she's like, John, I got a name. I was like, what's your name? She was like, Kylie White. I was like, oh, make me up a name. She was like, all right, let me think. She was like, you look like a Milan. And I'm like, yeah, what's my last name gonna be? She was like, I gotta think about that. I was like, no, let it be Rouge, like the Moulin Rouge, like the movie. Mind you, I never watched the movie, but I love the video because that video, Moulin Rouge, it had Pink, Christina Aguilera, Lil' Kim, Maya. That was the first time I ever seen diversity. Like that was the first time I ever seen black and white women all together and just like.
Philly's not like that.
No, Philly's not like that, especially like in the hood where I come from. Yeah. So I didn't really get to see that. So once I watched that, I was just like amazed by it. I was just like really, I learned the dances and I can't dance and everything. But so when she told me I look like a Milan, I'm like, do Moulin Rouge like the movie. And that was just like my alter ego from 2008.
So that's how we get Milan Rouge. That's why people call you Milan.
Yes.
Where does Millie come from?
So Millie is short for Milan. No way.
I didn't catch it. I ain't gonna hold you. Okay, so Milan, and then how do we get the name of the brand Milano?
Okay, so in 2012, I remember I was on the bed I was living in my mom's house. I was 23 years old. I was in the back room on the bed, coming up with a name for my brand. And I'm like, okay, most designers name their brands after themselves, but I didn't want to name my brand Janika Harris. So I'm like, okay, let me Google I wanted to like do like different translations to Milan Rouge. So I settled on the Italian interpretation of Milan Rouge, which was Milano Di Rouge. And I'm like, okay, I love this. So initially the brand was Rouge di Milano. So I made my first little design and it said Rouge di Milano. And then I switched it to Milano Di Rouge. And I'm so happy I did.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Rouge di Milano.
But I think whatever you would have created would be the thing. Right. So if you'd have went with Rouge de Milano, you would probably say, man, I'm so glad I changed it to that because it would build a business, right? So speaking of the business, you started when?
November 11th, 2012 is when I dropped my first shirt.
November 11th, 2012. Wow. And to date, you sold how much apparel?
I don't know how much total I sold, but guess what? I know how much in volume, like in money,
for sure.
over 70 million. But guess what? How many customers I just found out? I literally just found out on the call before. 500,000 and something customers. Like I was like, wow, it's like 500,000, 500 and something thousand. But I couldn't believe it. I was about to shed a tear on the phone.
500,000 customers.
Yes.
Is that 500,000?
Half a million customers.
Different people.
Yes, customers. Mm-hmm.
500,000 different humans on this earth have bought some Milano Di Rouge.
God is so good. I can't believe it. I'm like, yo, screenshot that number to me so I could post it because that's Black History right there. It's Black History Month. That's Black History. I never looked at the data to see that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Two very impressive numbers. 500,000 and then 70 million. I probably maybe noticed your brand like 2 years ago, maybe, right? It hasn't been long, but I don't think people know that you've been doing this for over a decade. Mm-hmm. So when you first started, you had one design. What were you doing?
I had two.
What were you doing at that time outside of the brand? Like, what were you doing for work?
Prior to me starting the line, I was a home health aide to the mentally disabled.
Really?
Yeah. And I loved my job. So every job that I had, I was like fully committed. Like I was a good employee. And I was a home health aide and I also was doing hair. Mm-hmm. So I would do hair on the weekdays and I was home health aide on the weekends and I was in college too. Mm-hmm. I got fired in July. So, bro, it was do you want me to go into the story? Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Yeah, I was so mad that I got fired. So I got fired in July of 2012. And the craziest thing about me getting fired, it was because I did not deserve to be fired. Mm. So I've been a home health aide for 4 years. I know the training like the back of my hand. Like we had to do a certain training every year, but it's so easy. Yeah. And I did the training. So after the training, you typically take a picture just for proof. I took the picture for proof because that's what I always did. Of the client? No, of the training. Like you take a picture of the screen just to have it. Got you. So I took a picture for proof just to have it in my phone. And like I don't remember if I sent it to the computer. It was on the computer as well. But like a week later, my manager, I had a male manager, and I found out the supervisor was dating. We had a new supervisor. So I only worked the weekend. So when I came into work, one of my coworkers, they was like, "Did you meet the new supervisor?" She was like, "That's the manager girlfriend. They're dating." So she was like, "I don't really like her. She like mean." So I'm like, okay.
That's why you got fired.
That's why I got fired.
We already know where this story is going. Good, it's crazy.
So when she met me, so anytime she called, she was really nice on the phone. Like my voice sound ghetto. I don't really look like how my voice sound ghetto. So she didn't, when she used to be nice on the phone, and then like she popped up and I opened the door, she was like, "Who you?" I was like, "Oh, I'm Janika. Nice to meet you." And she was just like walked past me. She's like, "Where the guys at?" I told her, but her whole energy was off. That Monday, so that was Saturday. On Monday, I got a call like, "Hey, it says you didn't do your training." I'm like, "I did do my training." So my manager was trying to fight for me. He was like, "Just, you have the proof?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got the proof. Soon as I go home." So I was trying to send him the proof right there. Yeah. My phone blacked out. I was like, "But it's okay. I got it on my computer." Soon as I went home, my computer, it just shut down. Dang. Like when I tell you, I could not believe it. I was so frustrated. I took my computer to this Microsoft place in Philadelphia to get fixed. And once I got it fixed, it was wiped off because I just wanted to prove that I had it. But in hindsight, it was nothing but God. Because I promise you, I would have never moved. I would have been so comfortable. But because of that, like God forced me to move.
In that moment, you didn't think that was a blessing, right?
No.
But it's so amazing how things work in hindsight. And I was just telling somebody the other day that I cannot think of a terrible situation in my life that didn't turn out to be a blessing at the end of it.
Right.
So now you can approach things that way.
And that's how I approach everything. Like that right there. So I look at like everything as like God, like I'm such a believer in God, but it's like he's preparing you for greater. Mm-hmm. So I don't look at things while they're happening to me as if they're happening to me. They're happening for me. Like what is God trying to prepare me for? What do he want me to see? Yeah. And from that instance, I think it just helped me like to just shape my mindset early on.
Did you start the brand because you got fired and you're trying to figure out how to make some money or?
No, so.
But you were still doing hair, right?
Yeah, I was doing hair, but I was mediocre, so I wasn't really getting a lot of. I wasn't getting a lot of clients. I wasn't the best. They came to me because I would give them advice. So prior to me getting fired in March of 2012, I started a blog. So my clients came to me. I was, like I said, I was a mediocre hairstylist, but I would give them advice, and they loved my advice. So they would call me like their therapist. One of my clients was moving to Las Vegas, and she was like, I'm going to miss our talks. Like, I wish you started a blog. And I'm like, well, what's a blog? So that night, I went home and Googled blog, and I immediately created one because it was like an online magazine. And I always wanted my own magazine. So I created my blog. It was IamMilanRouge.com, and I would give out love advice, dating advice, fashion advice, and motivational advice. And from there, I would like highlight different people on Instagram.
Were you making money at all from the blog?
No. I wasn't making money because I didn't even know that it could turn into money.
Right.
But I would highlight different people on Instagram and like steal her swag. So I would like post a picture and like say where they get the outfit from, and you can find out on my website. So on my website, I had gained over 100,000 views in 3 months. And once I gained those views, my mind was like, okay, now I can sell them a product. And from there, I created Milano Di Rouge. So once I got fired, and that was like the same time frame. Once I got fired, it was like, okay, now it's time to really create it. Like now it's time to like go all in and like, all right, what do you want to do? And I didn't really have like much experience with Photoshop or anything. Yeah. I remember going to this website. I forget the name. Start with a C. It allows you to like to mock up a shirt.
Canva?
No, not Canva. I forget the name of it. It's like a little, I forget the name, but it allows you to like mock up a shirt and create your logo. And I was just playing with things, and
you just started. So you had two shirts at that time, right?
I designed 2 shirts.
Right.
Yeah. And that was my 5-city shirt. So the 5 cities, it was like the cross. It was a red cross. And then it had London, Tokyo, Paris, Milan, and New York. So it was like the 5 fashion cities of the world. That's why I came up with that.
That still sell?
We stopped selling it.
Did you sell a lot though?
I did. It was like one of our popular styles. I had it for years. I think I stopped selling it like in 2018.
So your first shirt from 2012 to 2018, it was still selling. You were making money off of that.
Yeah, and
the idea that you mocked up on a website.
Yes, in the Milano Di Rouge signature shirt. That's our first shirt too. That's one of our number 1 seller.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? Like, you're not a designer. You have a passion for something. But I need to know how you sold it, though, because it's not... they'll come up with an idea. Like, I'm going to come up with this shirt, right? And if nobody sees it, then nobody's going to buy it. Or, like, I don't know. How did people just start buying it?
So I remember, the night that I wore it, I was at a party. I wasn't even trying to go to the party, to be honest, because I would have never just wore a sweatshirt and jeans to a party. My hair wasn't done. I'm going to show you the photo, too. I have my hair in
Let me see the photo.
I got to find it. Let me see. Oh, wait, it's in the other bag. I got to find it. I had on I got to pull it up. It would be good for you to see. But I had on the gray sweatshirt. I wasn't going to a party. Like, everyone else was dressed, and I'm like, all right, I'm just going to come and swag it. I don't care. And one of the guys from my city, he was like, yo, I like your shirt. Because when I first did it, it said Milano, Italy. It didn't say Milano Di Rouge. He was like, yo, I like your shirt. I'm like, oh, you like it? So the fact that the first day I wore it, somebody liked it, I was happy. Like, oh, this is mine. I made this. And then the next day I'll post on Instagram my shirt. And then I was like, who wants to buy the other one, basically. So I wore one and I sold it. Because I only bought 2.
Oh, you're okay. I'm thinking you were saying you had 2 designs. You're saying you had 2 shirts.
2 shirts. I wore a sweatshirt and sold the other sweatshirt. And then I took that and flipped that and I bought 5. Yeah.
No way.
Yes.
So first of all, how much did it cost you to print the shirts?
It was like, so what I was doing was I was going to a retail place. So it was like $25 to get the sweatshirt and the print all together. So
you're just finding a shirt like this in a store. You like heat press or
no?
What?
So the place that I went to, they sold shirts, they sold blanks. And they will print it on there. So I would go there and like pick out my stuff. I was so happy to find it too. I went there and like pick out the color that I wanted, and I put the logo. They put the logo on it and they gave it to me. $25. So that was a lot of money for it.
Yeah, how much you sell it for?
I started off at 40. So people would be like, "Why would 45?" People was like, "Why is your shirts $45? Everyone else selling shirts is $25." I'm like, okay, they're not Milano. But it was really because, and it was really right, and it was because though I was paying retail price. So like, I remember when I was starting to, I would ask like the different people. It was a lot of guys in our city selling t-shirts at the time. And I would ask them like, hey, I want to start a t-shirt brand. Where do I get shirts from? No one told me. And then one person that did tell me, he told me to go to this retail place. So I had no idea about wholesale. I had no idea that I was paying like top dollar for this stuff and people was getting it for like literally a fraction of the cost. Because you can get a shirt and print it up for like $7.99 and I'm paying $25 for it. And I did that for like probably like 5 months.
No way.
Yeah.
Paying the retail price. And that's why you got to make it a premium price because you paying $25.
Yes. And then I remember it was a black guy inside of the store. And the store that I was going to, it was like it was Asian owned, but it was a black guy inside of the store. He was like, hey, I just want to tell you that, like, I see you in here a lot. He was like, you do know you can get this for a fraction of the price from a wholesale. Like, you got to go to like an actual manufacturer. So he gave me an Alpha Embroider book. I don't know if y'all know that.
Alpha
he gave
Broder.
Me that. Yeah.
Yep.
He gave me that book. And at the time it was called Bodak and Roots. Yep. But he gave me that book and he was like, everything you want in here, you want to get it for a fraction of the cost. And then he gave me a card to some guys that print it. And the first day I went to the guys that print, I ran into the guy that sent me to the other place. I'm like, oh, hi. So it was a...
Shout out to us looking out for us.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Taking money away from the man. Well, Asian, I don't know. But that was good. That was cool, though. That was what's up.
The guy that initially sent me to the retail space, I ran into him when I went to the manufacturer. And I'm like, hey, he's like, what's up? I'm like, so my face was like I filmed it. But I wasn't mad. You know why? Because I felt like he worked hard to find his manufacturer. He don't have to give me that. 100%. And it just taught me that if I wanted something bad enough, the answer isn't as hard to find as I thought. And that's how I looked at everything. Like, if you truly want it, you're going to go for it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I met you. Like, so like now it's like, I appreciate it so much more.
Yeah. So I know you're blown away. Like, yo, I was paying 25. Now I'm paying 8.
Yeah.
And you're getting more volume, I'd imagine.
It started growing.
So when did you, so the logo, you had the logo design and the cities, correct? How long did you run with those two until you expanded to another design?
I ran with those two for until 2014.
For 2 years, 2 designs. It started off with 2 shirts.
So I went from sweatshirts to t-shirts because my first designs were sweatshirts because it was November.
But same design.
Yeah, same design. And then I would put the logo. Then I went to buy hats because once he showed me that Bodak and Rhodes book, I'm like, okay, I could do everything. So I bought hats and I put the logo on it. And yeah, the same designs for 2 years. But in 2014, I wanted to do cut and sew. So the thing about doing cut and sew is minimums. Explain
cut and sew.
Cut and sew is when you get your garment made from scratch.
Yeah.
So like when you first start, and a lot of times we can't afford cut and sew because it costs a lot of money. Samples cost the most money. Samples cost more than a production
and
cost
that
to be
tech
made.
Pack, like I don't know who.
Yeah, tech packs.
Create that.
Yes, everything costs. Yeah, It's it was a lot. It was a learning lesson, especially because I didn't come from the fashion industry.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know the names of the things that I wanted. I just knew how to describe it. I'm like, okay, I can't sketch. I can't do anything.
Before you get there, 2012, 2013, and then going into 2014, when did this become like your main source of income?
So I had a boyfriend too.
Okay.
So my boyfriend was always looking out. So the thing is, right, I was in a relationship while I was growing the brand. And that's why I was able to grow the brand because I had him to always rely on. So I was able to put my money right back into the business. Or I spent my money. It was either going into the business or I would spend it on me, but I always had somebody to fall back on.
Okay. Let me ask you, did that boyfriend believe in the brand and the vision, or was I just helping out my girl?
No, he helped out his girl and he believed in the brand and the vision. He did both. Yeah. In 2015, we broke up. So I gotta tell you, we can go back and forth as long as you want. In 2015, right? 3 things happened in 2015. In 2015, it's like basically I had to start all over because he was like my crutch. He was paying the rent at my warehouse. He was paying my car note. I was living with my mom though, but he was paying my car note. He was paying my insurance. And when we broke up, it was like I'd rather start over and struggle than to deal with you. Like I don't want to deal with this no more. And I literally just spent all of my money. So this was like the first time I had a fashion show, like my big fashion show. I spent probably $25,000 on this fashion show. And normally if I need something, I got my crutch. I got him there. Not saying that he was a crutch, but he was just the person that was supporting me if I needed anything. I don't want to say like a crutch, but you know what I mean? So because I just had this fashion show, I just put all of my money into that. I didn't have, I basically had to start over. I still had inventory, but it wasn't what I needed. So in 2015, we broke up. We broke up right after, 5 days after my fashion show.
Right after the fashion show.
5 days after my fashion show. And then my mom, so I remember telling my mom, I want to expand into sweatsuits. And at the time, American Apparel was doing wholesale sweatsuits. And I'm like, this will be my first time doing a sweatsuit because I really had t-shirts. I had a fashion show with t-shirts.
All t-shirts.
All t-shirts.
Fashion show.
It was like we were just showing you how to style t-shirts with just suits and skirts and different items.
How many t-shirt designs did you have?
2.
Yo, you spent $25,000 on a fashion show with 2 designs, all t-shirts, just worn differently.
But guess what? It's because my fashion shows is not about the fashion. It wasn't about the fashion. It was about the experience.
Talk to me about Think of a number in your head. How much do you think it would cost for me, a pretty successful entrepreneur, to coach you every single day, to give you all of the game? I'm talking about every day for an entire year, Monday through Friday. I'm on a virtual call teaching you how I've done the things that I've done, and me updating you every single day in real time on all the business moves that I'm making, all the negotiations that I'm in, everything that I'm doing before I actually do it. How much you think? And let's say Monday through Friday, and then on Thursdays we do a Q&A where not only do you get a chance to ask your questions and get them answered, but you get to hear the answer from a whole community, hundreds of other people on a call, and you get their answers that are going to help you too. What do you think? And once or twice a year, get together, free conference that we all get to come to, and you get to meet all these people that you see virtually. How much do you think that would cost every single year? 10,000? Not even close. It would probably be closer to 100,000 because it's just, my time is valuable, and to give you the sauce that's going to help you make millions, I'd have to charge you at least 100,000. But what I've done is created a community where you get the advantage of learning how to become an entrepreneur. You get to network with hundreds of entrepreneurs every single day. You got a community that keeps you inspired and excited. You will read a book club with us every single day. We'll also have an event where we come together once or twice a year for free. We do all of that for $399 for the year. Go ask somebody. I've got receipts of things that I built over the last decade, okay? I am willing to coach you. $399 for the year. Listen, go to themorningmeetup.com or click the link in this video. Let's get back to the episode, but keep in mind, I want to coach you. Let's get started. Talk to me about this experience.
It was about, every time I put on a show, I love entertainment. I'm all about just making people feel good. So from my first fashion show, I made sure we had a poet. I like the poet to make you feel. We have a dancer, or we have a performance. So we had a ballerina performing. We had, it was 3 runways too. So it wasn't even just one. It was 3 runways. So we picked the songs, and it's just a vibe. It was a positive vibe that we did in the city. And the show would probably be a 3-hour type of thing.
Wow.
Yeah. And the city comes out for the fashion show.
This is crazy.
Yeah. And I had t-shirts. Yes.
All t-shirts.
Yes.
But it's the experience. That's a perfect example, man, of it's not about the thing that you have, it's about what you do with it.
Yes.
Right? Your vision for that. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna go with these t-shirts and we're gonna run it. So you ain't had no sweatsuits, no hoodies, no jackets.
No, I just had t-shirts. We would put the t-shirts on with a suit. It looked really cute with a suit. We had it on with so much. So I had a stylist, but she just styled the same t-shirts with different items. And the fact that you said that, you pointed it out, I didn't think it was weird until you just pointed it out.
That's strange.
I'm like, damn, I did do a whole fashion show with t-shirts. Yeah. We had different colorways, though. We had so many different colorways. I had so many different color options.
Yo, in hindsight, it's super genius because I would imagine all of them said Milano, right? So
yeah, and then they had the 5 cities one. The one that got the 5 cities on it too. So we had different ones. You gotta pull a video up. When you do this, when you edit this, you gotta pull the fashion show video up. It's on YouTube.
Oh my gosh. All right. So 5 days after your fashion show, it was profitable.
Yeah, it was profitable.
I mean, I'm talking about like before the fashion show.
The business was profitable?
Was the business profitable? Because, I don't know if you really got into the numbers because you knew I'll sell. If I run out of money, I just get some more.
It was profitable. So like, I know that, so like the money that I was getting was more so for me to live, you know, like for me to just have like my lifestyle.
Yeah.
And then like he'll buy me stuff if I need it. But it was profitable because I had an accountant back then too. So like the first year we did it was $14,000.
$14,000 first year.
Yeah. And then did I go all
Yes, absolutely. What was the second year?
Second year, I'm not sure if it was, the second year was like one something. It's like probably 165. And then the third year was 3 something. And what year was that? No, 2012. Actually, no, 2012 it wasn't. 2013 it was 14,000.
14,000.
2014 it was, I gotta look. They sent me the whole breakdown.
Right.
I know 2016 we hit $1 million.
2016 you hit $1 million. The first $1 million.
Yes.
In that 1 year, 2016. So 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So in 7 years, 70 million. And it's dope because that's after your crutch. Not crutch, but
so
after.
It's after I had to start over. So look, the thing is, so look, when I started over, right, I'm like, all right, I don't know what I'm gonna do, you know, like, cause like just having somebody there is different, right? And I'm like, nah, I'm gonna trust God. And I always tell my dad, like, I was left to drown and I became a swimmer and I didn't know I could swim. So it was just me trying to like, all right, I'm gonna just put my all into this, you know? And it made me like, I like was single for a few years because I didn't want to depend on another guy to feed me ever again. Because when you depend on a guy to feed you, they can starve you too. And I didn't want that. So I just went tunnel vision and like, I remember it just changed my whole thing. Like I just wanted to just show from the muscle that I can do it. And not to nobody else, but to prove it to myself. Yeah. Because all of the women, like coming from where I come from, all of the women that I saw successful, besides my mom, like my mom didn't have nobody taking care of her. She did it out the mud. But like the ones that had luxuries, like my mom wasn't like buying like Chanel bags and like driving like the latest car at the time. But the ones that I saw that had the luxuries that I wanted, they had it on behalf of men. So me seeing it, that's what I thought was normal. Once I got on Instagram, I started seeing the Miss Blings, the Karen Silvers, the Ming Lees. I started seeing them and they got these nice cars and they got these mansions and they got it on their own. And I'm like, okay, if they can do that, I can do that too. So once we broke up, and my mom, like, I'm starting over, and I don't care. I don't care what people think about me. I'm just going like go hard, you know?
What did that look like? What did that go hard look like after? When I'm saying, yo, I'm on my own, what did that activity look like?
That activity looked like, so it still looked good, but I was like behind on my car note 3 months.
What?
Because I'm like, it take 3 months it take 3 months for them to come get your car, right? I said, okay, I'm buying inventory. I'm buying inventory. I'm going to just go. Like, they calling me. I'm like, I remember explaining it to a debit collector. There's a black lady. I'm like, Miss, I'm sorry, I can't pay. And she was like, all right, I got you. I'm going to just hold off. And I'm like, all right. So yeah.
So you like really went all in terms of like all of your money, I'm putting it into this brand. So
all right. So look, another thing happened in 2015 too, right? From 2012 when I started my brand to 2015, I was making money but not seeing it. I was like literally selling out. I was making clothes and I was selling out, but I wasn't seeing the money. And it was because I didn't have financial literacy. So right before me and my ex broke up, we went to visit my dad in prison. So it was like a big back-to-back thing. So it was like April 20th, we wanted to go visit my dad in prison. April 20th, 2015. I'm telling my dad, oh, everybody's talking about Milano in jail and yada, yada, yada. So I was like, yeah, I'm making money, but I'm not seeing it. He's like, okay, explain to me your process. I'm like, every time I buy shirts, they sell out. He said, well, when they sell out, how long does it take you to get new inventory? I said, it take about 3 weeks. He said, okay, that's in those 3 weeks where you don't have any inventory coming in, you're just spending their money. So you're running in a circle. It's like a rat race, he said. And I'm like, damn. So I don't got no money coming in and I'm just spending the money. He's like, so you going to just keep going in a circle. He said, the goal would be to never sell out. And that was the aha moment for me. Like, I literally never looked at it as simple as that. But he's from the streets. He said, whenever he would sell out a product, you know where my customers will go? To the next person. Yeah. So you don't want your customers going to the next person. Keep product. Never sell out. My mindset was never sell out. So once me and my ex, we broke up, he thought that I was going to have to come back to him because he was so used to that cycle. And because of my dad gave me that game, and my mom gave me, all right, so my dad gave me that game. So my whole mindset was like, never sell out, right?
First of all, what was you about to say about your mom?
My mom gave me a check. Mm-hmm. So, all right, it's so many different stories.
We're here. So we're here now. I am in no rush. I got nothing to do today.
So, and I can't remember the month. It was probably like a month or a few months after. But it's in 2015 as well. So I'm telling my mom, like, all right, Mom, I want to go into sweatsuits. And like I said, I just spent a lot of my money on a fashion show. So I couldn't spend a bulk of money on sweatsuits. So I'm like, Mom, it was like $1,200. I was like, Mom, I need a $1,200 check. I think I wanted like $1,260. I was like, I just need to get these sweatsuits. If I can get these sweatsuits, I promise I'm never going to ask you for no money again. And she was like, I don't have it. So I remember sitting on the steps in her living room, and she walked downstairs and she dropped the check in my lap. And I was so happy. I gave her a hug. I was like, I promise I'm going to pay you back. And like till this day, I know on InvestFest stage, I said, to this day, I paid her back times 300. I know I paid her back times more than that. Mm-hmm. But it was just like her believing in me meant a lot. So with them sweatsuits too, they helped me because now them sweatsuits, I think I charged $150 for the sweatsuits. I think they cost like $59 to make, and I charged like $150 for the sweatsuit. Nice. So now it helped me get more money. Yeah. So now it was like, never sell out. This just helped me get more money, and it was like, all right, now I'm just growing. I remember him seeing me on an airplane. I think I was going to LA or Atlanta, and he was like, who you messing with now? I'm like, nobody. I'm single. He was like, nah, you got to be dating somebody because like you. I'm like, wow. So, and I didn't even want to prove it, but in my heart it felt so good because like I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do that is making you think that I'm dating someone else. And all I'm doing is spending my own money. I'm working hard. It was just a feeling that no one can take from me.
Listen, if I was going to teach you how to make $1 million, would you give me 10,000? Like if I had a course teach you how to make $1 million a year positive, you're going to make $1 million, would you give me 10,000? Of course you would. It's no brainer, right? So in a calendar year, we make 7 figures with the podcast. But there's 21 things that I extracted from that you're going to need to launch your podcast. But I only got time to give you 3 right now. One is you need a distribution platform. The distribution platform is what you upload your podcast to. That platform sends it to Spotify, Apple, Google Play, so that your supporters can actually listen to your podcast. You're also going to need a microphone. You need a really good microphone so it's crispy audio. And 3, you need an income strategy. This is not necessarily a hobby, unless you're going to make it a hobby. But I can teach you how I made the 7 figures with these 21 things. Now, the good news is you don't have to give me 10,000. My ebook is only $37, okay? So listen, go to podcastebook.com and get the 21 things that you need. And I can explain it in detail, all the things that you need, okay? Podcastebook.com. Let's get to the episode.
Amazing. Yo, people, like this is kind of the stuff that people don't get a chance to see, man. Or hear, like you have a real journey. Like you was broke. Right, and I don't even think your dad would even give you that advice if you weren't working to be experiencing something and noticing. Some people never just say, yo, I feel like I'm making sales, but I ain't making no money.
Right.
They don't see it because they're not actually grinding. Your mom probably wouldn't have believed in you if you didn't believe in yourself.
Right.
And then you just go hard after that. So talk to me about the promotion, like the marketing. What were you doing to sell all these clothes?
So, to be honest, I was going hard even before that. Yeah. I just wasn't smart with the money. You know, I was working. I remember my ex before this guy, he was like, why are you up? That's when I was blogging. He like, I used to be blogging for free. You know, he like, shut your computer. Like, why you got why we can't spend time right now? I'm like, I'm just trying to work. He's like, I pay your stuff. Like, it's all right. Like, and then I was doing photo shoots too. Mm-hmm. And I was charging $50 to do people photo shoots. He was so mad.
You were charging $50. What do you mean?
To take people pictures.
Oh, you were a photographer. Oh, that's crazy.
I was everything.
Yo. I got a whole nother respect for you. Like, you are a hustler for real.
And it wasn't because I needed the money, because I had people that always looked out. So he was like, you want to go and take pictures for $50? He was so mad. he was so mad at me. I'm like, yes. Like, it's because it's something I want to do. Like, I enjoy doing it, and they booked me. He was like, I can give you $50 for that. I give you more than that. I give you more than that. I'm like, no, it's okay. Rest in peace, Sully. He passed away.
Oh, my goodness.
But, yeah, so I was always a hard worker, though. Yeah. Like, I was working so hard, like, even when I wasn't seeing money. Yeah. I was working really hard. Like, my work ethic continues to match, like, you know. And I remember, like, when I used to be posting on Instagram, first every day I would just go out and sell, and then it was like, all right, I'm on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm not going out to sell, because on Tuesdays and Thursdays I need to build the brand. And I remember somebody texting like, you don't want this money? And I'm like, it's bigger than money. Like, the brand to me is bigger than money. I just knew where it can go. Yeah. I didn't know it can go this far, but I just knew where I saw it going, and I'm like, I gotta build the brand. I can't, if I go out every day and sell, I can't make no money. But then eventually I started to hire some salespeople that would just make the deliveries for me.
Oh, so when you say you would go out and sell, like at the point where you were selling, or you just run around with your car, going to barbershops or salons?
No, so I would post on Instagram, and I would be like, hey, I would take a picture of what I had that day, and I would say the sizes, and then I'm like, text what you want. And then, like, whoever texts me there, I would just try to meet at a safe space. So I would meet at a gas station, or I would meet, like, in front of a grocery store. I would just meet different places. So I would be, like, running errands all over the city, dropping off stuff.
So promoting on social media, saying, yo, I will come bring you this sweatsuit. And you would just drop it off. Drop it off,
yeah. And I'm so grateful to God, because God be just watching me, for sure. Because women got robbed. Like, women got set up and robbed.
I imagine.
Yeah. I wasn't, and I'm so happy that I had, like, tunnel vision, that I wasn't thinking about, like, the worst that can happen. Because if I thought about it, then it would have stopped me from doing it.
Explain that, because I don't want people to miss that point.
I think when you start to think about all of the bad stuff, it starts to have self-doubt creep in. And I'm not a person like, okay, what if this can happen, bro? I'm just like, all right, God, just guide me. And whatever happened is going to happen. I'm either going to learn from it or I'm going to win. And that's how I look at it.
Yeah, it's interesting. I had a conversation with a guy that was like, he was in an MBA program, like business school. And, they teach them all about, like, business and all the things you should do and shouldn't do and all that kind of stuff. And the guy was telling me, he was like, yo, you're probably going to be more successful than everybody in my class. It's like when I was selling T-shirts too. I said, why? He said, because you don't even see the errors that you're making. You just out here working.
Right, wow.
Because people be too afraid, because you probably shouldn't do that.
Right.
Like the people like, yo, you shouldn't sell a shirt without trademarking, right?
Right.
Did you trademark initially?
It was a process.
You was out here selling in the streets. Some people would never sell because it's not trademarked.
Because some people want to have it all figured out.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like, the beauty is in the journey. Like, you don't got to see the whole staircase. Just go up the step. Like, God is going to just do the steps, then the staircase is going to come. I didn't have the vision. Like, at first I remember, like, they like, you need a business plan. I'm like, all right. I Googled a business plan template. I started filling it out. I'm like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do. So let me just go. I ain't filling this template out, because this going to stop me. Like, me trying to have it all figured out is going to stop me from going. Yeah. And I'm an executor. I'm not really a planner. I'm learning to be better at planning, but I'm an executor. I'm just going to go.
Yeah. Where was your main promotion coming from? Was it Instagram?
Instagram, for sure.
How often were you posting, or how often were you promoting?
All day. People was like, is somebody running your page? Somebody running your page? I'm like, no, it's me. Because I would literally be like right in front of somebody's face, and then they'll look, I'm like, you just posted that? I'm like, yeah. Yes, I loved Instagram. It didn't feel like work. It was just like, if I seen a customer wearing it, I was reposting the customer, like, spotted in Milano. So my timeline was filled up every day. I was on people's timeline every day, all day.
People are afraid to do that, man, because it messes up the aesthetic of the page.
I don't care about the aesthetic. I care about me growing. Like, who cares about the aesthetic?
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah, I mean, now I'm a little bit like, all right, I just want my page to look cute. But as I be posting stuff, I'm like, this is not going to match. This ain't going to make sense. But when you go to my page, it represents me. I'm all over the place, just like my page. Now, the business page, we got a strategist.
Yeah.
My page is like, I'm posting what I feel.
Yeah.
Now I'm older. I got a kid, so I can't be like on there as much. But I'm like, dang, I just wish I had that feel for it like I did before. But
yeah. 2015, you made your first $1 million.
2016.
2016, made your first $1 million. What do you think happened that have you do that? Because in apparel, it's hard to make $1 million.
I opened my store. In 2016, I opened my store.
Where at? In Philly?
In Philly. Mm-hmm.
It's still there?
Yeah, it's still there.
Okay.
Yep. So in 2016, I remember asking my accountant, I'm like, yo, you think I should get a store? No, I was telling him, I didn't ask him. I was talking to him like, yo, I think I'm about to get a store. He was like, you told me you never want a store. I was like, I didn't, but there's a demand for it. He was like, well, you right, because my warehouse, I was inside of a warehouse. I say a warehouse, but it was really a studio. It was a studio inside of a studio. It wasn't a warehouse, but it was a studio inside of a studio.
Warehouse sounds better.
So I called it a warehouse because everything was housed there.
Sure.
But he was like, yeah, you right, because I had people from DC, New York, Baltimore, driving to my warehouse, and it was the worst neighborhood in America.
Really?
In America, not Philadelphia, America. It's on, if you watch them little documentaries, heroin addicts, bro, it was needles. Like when you walking up the store, you'll see like dope needles. When you walking up the stairs to my warehouse. So he said, you got people coming from all over to your space. Is a demand for it for sure. So he's like, yeah, just do it. He was like, I was like, you think? He was like, your gut hasn't steered you wrong since ever. So he's like, I trust you. If you want to do it, I think you should do it. So
2016, you got a store, $1 million. Where did it really start that? When did it really start happening? Because $1 million in 2016, and then like it's looking like an average of 10 million a year.
No,
since
it wasn't.
Then.
It wasn't an average of 10 million a year since then. It was a slow climb.
Tell us about this climb.
I don't want to say every dollar, every month, every year.
No, not every dollar,
yeah.
but I'm saying like what happened? Like what happened to where you had some sort of explosion? Was it like what like walk me through how that happened?
So like even like when I first started, I would like always like DM celebrities and like, hey, Milano Di Rouge is my brand. I would love to send you a package to pay homage. And some people will open the message and just read it. Some people will respond and say like, hey, and give me their address. Some people just ignored it, but I will always send it. So I was able to send like different celebrities and influencers my stuff. And at the time it wasn't really influencers. So we didn't have to pay. I didn't have to pay to do that. So when they was wearing it and I would see a photo, I would just be like screenshot and repost and be so happy. Yeah. And I will always share my customers. So like the celebrities definitely help because people love what celebrities wear, but representation matters. So when people see their own stuff in there, like, and they see people that look just like them and they see different body types wearing it, then they know, okay, it's not just for celebrities. Because sometimes when you just see a celebrity in something, you don't even go look at the price you think is expensive. Yeah. I had people say that they thought it was too much money because they seen celebrities in it. So some people didn't go look at it. But once they start to see like real people, real life people that look like them in it, that was like my influencers. They was like my brand ambassadors from the beginning because I always posted my customers in Milano, like always from the beginning.
Did something happen along this journey where it's like 1 year just was like breakout, like it just explosion? So
before the 1 million, I had like 700,000, 2015. Yeah. And then 300,000. It was like a build up. Yeah, so it was like every year was just building up. It wasn't like it was like an overnight thing, and it was just like the sales just build up every year.
Got it. That makes sense. Actually.
But the celebrities definitely helped a lot.
Yeah. Can you talk to me about like the process of, because we were talking, I was like, yo, your designs are just amazing.
Thank you.
And he was like, I'm not really a designer, I'm a businesswoman. That's intriguing. What do you mean?
So I didn't go to school for design. I always wanted my own brand. And I knew that I couldn't afford to hire a designer. Yeah. So I just had to like learn a little bit of Photoshop, and I like t-shirts. Yeah. I loved men's clothing. So it was easy for me to just like make things that I would naturally wear. Yeah. So I had went on Google and like found this. I forget the name of the website, but Custom Ink. That's what it is. Yep. And Custom Ink. Custom ink. We should do a partnership if y'all see this.
Yeah, Custom Ink. Y'all need to give her a bag.
Y'all help me out a lot. I'll probably get y'all one. So. Right. But yeah, I didn't have any experience in designing, but I just knew what I wanted. Yeah. So by me knowing what I want, I'm really big on like not letting nothing stop me. So I started with the t-shirts. I would print my logo on it. Then I would sing sweatpants, and I would just buy different things and put my logo on it. I even made condoms.
You made
I had my logo on condoms. I had my logo on everything.
No way.
Safe sex saves lives.
And that was a promotion?
That was a campaign. In 2014.
How do you make condoms? What's the process of that?
Just on
a manufacturer?
Yeah, you find a manufacturer online, and then they could just custom the condoms. Custom make the condoms. Well, it wasn't on an actual condom. It was on a wrapper.
Oh, I thought like as soon as you pull it out, you see...
Oh, heck no.
You see like a Milano on that joint.
I don't even know if that's sanitary. I don't even know if that's sanitary right there.
Woo, interesting. Okay. You see, my mind went, I'm so sorry. Did you make any money from the joints?
Yeah, I did. I did. And then we would give them out too. So like in 2014, I'm so all over the place with my story.
This is amazing.
I never interviewed so freely like this. I love it. In 2014, I hired a PR, and he was like, "We got to make your brand socially responsible." October is Black.
Did anything happen to where he was saying that,
no.
or he's just using it as a strategy?
He was just using it as a strategy. Like he's like, you should make your brand socially responsible for something. You have a voice and you have a big impact in the city. He was like, October is Breast Cancer Month. Do you want to do breast cancer awareness? I'm like, everybody's doing breast cancer awareness. Let's do HIV awareness. He was like, oh no. Nobody want to talk about that? I was like, that's why we should do it, because nobody want to talk about it. Let's educate them. Because cancer can't be prevented, but HIV can. And I'm like, okay, so let's do that. So that's where the condoms came in at too. The Safe Sex Saves Lives condom. And so what we did was for the month of December, I did a Safe Sex Saves Lives toy drive. And we donated toys to children infected or affected by HIV. Oh, wow. And then in the spring, we would have charity basketball games. And by us doing these events, a lady that had HIV, she ended up coming out, and she was like, hey, I would love to share my story with you. She was with a guy for 5 years, and they were college sweethearts, and he gave her, they had kids too, and he gave her HIV. And she was like, just because you're monogamous to him, it doesn't matter. You never know what your partner is doing. She said, and she remembered like catching him cheating plenty of times, but she just never thought to like use a condom, you know? And she was like so many people don't think about that. And she wanted to share her story. So when I had the basketball game, she came out and she was talking, and I'm like, thank you so much, because it takes a lot of courage 100%. To do that. And I'm like, I don't care as long as we change one life. As long as your message and what we're doing can change one person's life, then I feel like we did our job. And I feel like by her sharing that story in that basketball gym, because I attract the hood. Like I come from the hood, so I attract the coolest people out. And for them to come and hear that message, like people was like literally in tears.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
With the, do you come up with the designs? Like that jacket that you had, like Donnie had it actually. It was like a trench coat and had words on it, and it was just fire. That joint was crazy. Are you coming up with the concepts, or do you have a team? Because I'm sure Ralph Lauren's not making his own designs, or you know what I mean. So do you have like a team of designers? Do you come up with an idea like y'all want to do this? Like how does that?
Yeah, so with that jacket, I came up with the concept for that jacket. Now I have in-house designers, but with that jacket, I knew. So someone designed the trench for me. But with the placement and the logos and the quotes is me. Like I'm really big on messaging. And I'm like, in the Bible it say bad company corrupts good morals. And I'm like, I want that on a jacket. I want to put it there. And then we played with the placements a little bit, and then it say like, watch the company you keep. And then it was like, no company is better than bad company. Because I felt like a lot of times like my father isn't locked up because of bad company. He's in jail because of bad company. Wow. You know, a lot of the decisions we make is because of the company we keep. So I just like to put like little messages on clothing so that it can inspire the people that come from where I come from, because messages matter.
Is your dad coming home?
My dad got a 40 to 80. And I didn't know that. I literally found out my dad had so growing up, he always said 20 to 40. So I assumed that in 2020, he would probably be about to come home because he got locked up in 2001. And then when I was pregnant and I overheard him talking to my ex on a call, and he said 40 to 80. And I'm like, you got a 40. Yo, it just like blew my mind because I'm like, I never knew it was a 40 to 80. That's a long time. Like, that's a long time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I didn't know it was a 40 to 80.
You get a chance to go see him a lot?
I actually probably didn't go see my dad probably since like 2016.
Really?
Or 2017 or 2018 probably. But we'd be on Zoom.
Okay.
Because they keep moving them further and further. But I literally can just go see him.
Yeah.
Because I could catch a plane to go see him. But I just was on a visit with him yesterday. Because we do Zoom visits.
So they got Zoom calls now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so he got to see my baby through Zoom. And we're really close. Yeah.
All right, so I had I was asking you something. Oh, so give me the process of these designs. So do you have a team of people that are creating these looks and you are approving and say, okay, I like this, but let's make these tweaks?
Now I do. And it feels so great. Like, oh my God, it feels amazing. Now I do.
But everything was like, yo, I got this idea, let's do this.
Yeah. Everything else, it was just like, all right, if like I'm inspired by different things. So if I see a hoodie, okay, I like this, or I see this, I like this logo placement, or I like this, like it's full of inspiration. You know, you just tweak it and you make it your own.
Gotcha.
So, and I'm big on like different fits. So if I like something, like I'm like even these jeans, like I have on a full Milano fit right now, but like I'm so big on like fit. I'm big on like accentuating the right areas for us. I'm big on curves. So like I only make what I will wear. So if I wouldn't wear it, I wouldn't make it. Because I am a walking billboard for my brand, and I've always been. I don't design stuff that I don't believe in. And now that I'm getting older, I'm probably going to have to change a little bit of what I want and wear. Because, you know, you want to continue to keep the brand young. But that's how it's been. It's like, if I don't wear it, I don't want to make it.
I love that. You are a marketing genius.
I've been told it's like this. You think so?
For sure. You already know. Like I was watching, like even your intro video to like, it's like you did a whole skit on a plane. Like, yo, we're going to Milan. It was just wild. And I just see how you market. So help me. How can I be more creative in my marketing? Like you're creative.
So.
Or can I be?
No, you can. Either you can or you just hire someone. So like with me, it was never about the clothes because I never looked at myself as a designer. Like, and people always say like you're not even a designer. Like people would be talking like the most mess, and I'm like, okay, still designing. But so I'm a creative person. Like I love telling stories. Like my ultimate dream is to direct a film. Or a short story. Like I like just like connecting and telling stories. So I utilize my brand and like utilize all of my different passions and tie it in and incorporate it with my brand. So that's why like when you see certain videos, I go all out because I love telling stories. I like people to get connected to like understand like the journey. And you can be if you tap into your creativity or you just hire someone because people have different strengths.
Yeah, help me. I want to. So this is a social proof hoodie.
It's fire too. I like your designs. That's how when I first seen you, I'm like, yo, that shirt is fire. I need that shirt.
All right, I need you as a business partner.
Yeah, I'm willing to invest.
Because I want to get in the cut and sew. Like what?
Yeah.
Got some bread out here. Okay, I want to get into the cut and sew, but I don't know. How do we shape this narrative in the mind of people and get them to fall in love with this stuff? You know what I mean? Because
with your items.
Yeah. How do I do that? How if you were me? And we are going to be business partners. So what are you going to tell me to do to spread this message?
What do social proof mean to you?
It means getting the receipts, like actually doing something and being able to talk about the thing that you did, not just inspiring people off of theory. Like this brand is for the hero. Like you're on this show because you went out, became successful, and now you're coming back to share your success with your community. This story was just amazing. But you're willing to share it now. Like you have the proof to say, okay, follow me now.
I like that. I think you got to share what it means more. Because even when you was like, it's the receipts, I just started seeing like a receipt printer printing out. Like I just feel like it's like you got to connect the story with the brand. And you just said like I'm willing to share the story now. I was sharing the story all along because I don't look at it like you got to be complete to inspire someone. Like I was inspiring people just along with the journey. Even when I didn't speak well and articulate myself that well, I remember people would be like, what qualifies her to go talk to kids at schools? Like she can't even talk. And I'm like, man, I got some to say. You know, like what I say, like it's going to change somebody's life. So I don't care how it appears to you. And before I didn't know that I wasn't articulating myself well, because before it was just like Philly people, like we sound the same. So once I started posting on social media, they was like, what did she just say? Like what? And that's how I started to know, like, okay, I need to work on this. But while I work on it, I ain't going to stop. I don't want to be the whole package. I don't want to come like perfect because I'm not. I'm a masterpiece and I'm a work in progress at the same time. And I enjoy that. I enjoy showing people like how real and raw I am. Like it's okay.
Yeah.
People don't, and that's why I created the Women There Club. The Women There Club, I really like to embrace the idea of still learning.
What is the Women There Club?
The Women There Club is the club that I created for women. So I created this club in 2018 because I didn't have a mentor. Like the entire journey, I never had a mentor. And I feel like women, we don't have mentors like how men have them. And I created this club for like-minded women to just share resources and talk about our pain points and our struggles because we're so much more alike than we are different. And I created for reciprocity for ourselves. So everything that we give everyone else, a lot of times boss women, we have no one to rely on, no one to count on, especially women. And whether you're in a relationship or if you're single, like a lot of times, like everything fall on you. You the mom, you doing this. It's just so much weight on your shoulder where I created this reciprocity retreat for Women Air Club so that we can give back to ourselves what we give to so many others. And that retreat was just about like restoring, releasing, and just starting over. And we would do, so when I did this retreat, we had a chef prepare meals. It was a 72-hour retreat. So a chef prepared breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We had yoga. So we did sunset and sunrise yoga. It was amazing. We had a nutritionist come. We did business workshops. And we had a therapist. And that was the first time I ever saw a therapist. And that was the first time many other women in the room saw a therapist. So some of these women is making millions of dollars, and I'm just looking as every time they come out the room, I can just see a weight lift off their shoulder. I see tears in their eyes. I'm like, yo, we needed this. Like, this is what we needed. Yeah. People can't wait for the next retreat, for sure.
For sure.
But yeah.
What is it about money, man? I realize that when you don't have any money, you're doing everything you can to get some because you figure in your head that once I get to this particular level, I get this amount of money, I'm going to be good. I'm going to be living my best life. But it's not like that always, is it?
No.
What is about that dynamic of you don't have it, but you think it's going to happen. But when you get money, it's like I've talked to a lot of people, and it's like the more they get, the more not depressed, but the more it's more uncomfortable because you can't really be yourself and be as free. You know what I mean? Because you're always thinking about, okay, how do I keep it? Right? So give me your perspective on all that I just said.
I love that you said that because I'm thinking of so many different ways to talk about this. But see, me, I think a lot of times that they were waiting for an end result. Yeah. So sometimes when like you're so focused on the end result, you don't enjoy the journey. So me, I was enjoying life even when I was broke. I was enjoying it. I was going to concerts. I was making sure like I work hard, but I like to play too. I like to dance. I like to have fun. So I wasn't just so focused on the end result or the end goal or like once I make $1 million, I'm going to be set. No, I never had money goals. I didn't create money goals until 2017. But I never had like these type of goals that like once I become this and then I'll do this. It was just I was living. And I'm still living. Like I'm so in the moment while I'm living in the present while I'm focused on where I want to be. But I'm there. Like joy is found in the journey. So when I was selling that one t-shirt, them 2 t-shirts, like I was still, them 2 sweatshirts, I was happy, you know? I never was like, oh, I can't wait till this person wear my brand. Like I was so focused on this. I was focused on the journey. I was focused on the hustle. I was enjoying it every step of the way because this is my passion. And that's why, like, when I talk to people, I don't talk to people like and say, like, I can help you make this type of money because I can't. What I can help you do is try to help you find your passion. And from your passion, you build your paycheck. But I'm not big on just selling anything. Like, it has to be something that I truly enjoy. Like, I'm not going to just partner with anybody on just anything because I gotta believe in it. I gotta love it. I gotta be willing to sell it and go hard for it. So I think that a lot of people's issue is they're so focused on the money. They're so focused on something that's not really bringing them happiness. It's just more so about the money and never been about the money to me. Yeah. I think I look at money as just a tool for more access and for more resources and to change more lives, but not that it's making me, because the money don't make me.
I love it. I love it. What about your personal life? As a successful woman, I can imagine it's maybe intimidating.
I don't know. It's like
have you experienced that, or like how much focus do you put on your personal life dating? First off, are you in a relationship?
Yeah, I'm in a relationship.
Oh, good for you.
Hey, my baby, I was right out there, so I'm joking. But no, I haven't really been focused on it. So like the thing is, I feel like I'm so comfortable with myself. Like I just have like this really big love for stuff that like having a partner is great. But like I don't mind being alone. Like I'm happy alone. Like, you know, it's not like, you know, some people, which I feel bad sometimes, that they just need somebody. But me, like, I know who I am. Like, I'm so happy. And it's to the point where I need to kind of, like, get out of that because I'm not even trying to date. Like, I just think God's going to drop somebody out the sky. And I'm like, okay, here he is. But, yeah, I'm really content. And I don't want to be content in that area. So I think I'm going to just hire a matchmaker.
Really?
Yeah. Hire
a matchmaker. It seemed like you may, well, I don't know. I don't know if you would have a bunch of options because some people would be intimidated, right? But I would imagine that other successful men see you as a compliment.
Yeah, but that's fine. It's just so like right. What I haven't done is like I haven't like looked to see who I want, you know, because I want to choose. I don't want to just choose somebody because they want me. Yeah. I want to like, okay, I like this person. Like my options is open. My eyes is open, and so is my options too. But I just need to like open my eyes. Right. I don't want to just date somebody because he tried to talk to me. No, I want to like, what do I like about you? You know, like, so that's why I was like, I want a matchmaker because I want to be able to tell them what I'm looking for and what I want in a man, especially like personality wise. I'm really big on like character. And then they can come back and bring it to me like a little job application. Like, okay, he got this, he cool, okay. And then I can select.
Okay, know? All right. Send in the person that's going to be the new designer. Okay, send in the new man. Let's see. We're going to interview them both the same. Let's go.
I heard that matchmakers have a lot of success.
Okay, they about to be in your DM
like
right now.
most people are together because the person just walked up to them and said, "Oh, I like you," you know? Like, I mean, it worked, but like, I don't know. I want to know, like, what do we have in common? Like, how I don't know.
Build your man for me real quick. Give me like, if you could like construct one right now. This is their shoe size. This is their height. This is what they do for a living. This is their complexion. Build a man.
All right, so the man that I would build would be more so like characteristic wise. Like, okay. He has to be a good person. He has to be God-fearing. He has to be someone that I wouldn't mind my son looking up to and being like. He got to be someone like when like, I did my love language test and my number one love language is acts of service. So he has to be someone that's like willing to like service me, right. You know? Like I'll service them too. Like I'll cater to them too, but I need to be catered to. Like, do you need any help with your work? Like I just want somebody that's like all in. So the characteristics, somebody that like don't mind a powerful woman, you know? Yeah. And it doesn't matter if he working beside me. Like I don't know. Yeah.
Would you date someone like a regular, like they have a regular average career, or you know what I mean? Do you?
So people say that to me all the time. Like I'm a regular guy, but can I? No. The fact that you calling yourself regular don't sit well with me. You know, because I need somebody confident. No matter what you do for a living, no matter like what your financial situation is, you calling yourself regular does not sit well with me. You know, I need you to be confident in who you are.
I like that. Yeah. I like that. Okay. I ain't mad at that. Older, younger?
I will do older. I can't be dating nobody that's younger than me.
And how old are you now?
33.
33.
I would do my age or older. Or if I was to do younger, I probably wouldn't go younger than 28. I don't know.
Okay.
I just feel like guys are, I'm really mature.
Yeah.
And I've been mature for a long time.
For sure.
So.
I'm going to ask a question. It's going to sound weird, okay? But, okay, and I'll say it this way. Shouts out to my homegirl. I don't know if I say her name. But she's really, really attractive. Like influencer. And she was like, it was her. And it was a group of women, and we were like all talking, and it was like kind of deciding they man. And my whole girl, I just call her B. She was like, I like mine ugly a little bit. I said, what? She was like, I like a man to be a little. I promise you. And I was like, really? So I wish I could say her name, but how important their looks to you?
So it's so funny. I remember in 9th grade, I was like, all right, I'm gonna date it. Like, my guy can be ugly. Like, I don't care. As long as he nice, he can be ugly. And I went for the ugly guy. And guess what? All of the cute girls wanted him because I was his girlfriend. So I'm like, it don't matter. But I just feel like he was cute in my eyes too. He was ugly to everybody else. My best friend was like, what? I'm like, he cute.
For all my,
when you start liking somebody, they can become cute to you.
To all my ugly brothers, you got a shot, man. You got. Hey man, just go. You never know. You might hit the lottery.
We are all God's children. We all cute. God made us all cute.
That was the funniest thing. Okay, anyway, I want to wrap this up, but you just got a warehouse.
A headquarters. Right? It's not a warehouse. So you know what's so funny? I feel like I was just so used to calling it a warehouse. Like when people came to visit, they're like, "Why'd you call this a warehouse? This is the office, baby." But it's my headquarters.
Okay,
yeah,
it's your headquarters. How big is this headquarters?
It's 21,000 square feet.
Oh my gosh!
You got to come visit because we got to create my podcast.
100%. Yo, that's okay. I'm gonna give y'all a perspective. This space is 3,750 square feet. Hers is 21,000. So it's like 6 of these put together. Like people come in here, they're like, "Oh my gosh, there's your warehouse, your headquarters is 6 of these put together. That's huge. Why?
Did I get it?
Yes.
So initially I got it for a fulfillment center because I'm like, I'm paying this much money for fulfillment a year? A lot of money on fulfilling orders. So guys, when your orders were late, I was still paying top dollar for the orders and I was so sad and I was frustrated. I was on meetings with them every day. Like, we're paying top dollar. Like, I was paying so much.
So the fulfillment center was late.
Yeah.
Typically, they're supposed to be on time.
They're supposed to be on time. We've gotten much better. Like, they've gotten much better. But I started looking for a place because I'm like, yo, I'm spending way too much money. Like, M's on fulfillment a year.
What?
Yes. And I'm like, okay, so I might as well just buy a place. And I started looking, and our contract was almost up. So I was like rushing to find a space. And then once I got my space, I went to go visit Emma. She is the CEO and co-founder of Good American. And it was an amazing meeting, by the way. But I was telling her that I just bought this space and I'm going to turn it into a warehouse. And she was like, well, after meeting you and talking to you, it doesn't seem like warehousing is your passion. I feel like with that space, you need to do more of what you love. And I was telling her I'm going to do like, the bulk of the space going to be fulfillment. It was going to be like take up, because we have so much fulfillment. It would probably take up like 15,000 square feet of the space. And the rest of it, I was going to be like, I told her I was going to do like content creation, production, and design. And she was like, it seems like the fulfillment center industry is like not where you really want to be. I say you make that space your headquarters and do exactly what you want to do in there. And just find a better fulfillment center. She was like, you just have a crappy fulfillment center, basically. And I'm like, you're right. And then I went to InvestFest, and then Tyler Perry made a statement, and he was like, you should dream for where you want to go, or something like that. What did he say?
You are. He said, don't build for what you need right now. Build for where you're going, or something like that.
And that right there, it was like confirmation from what she said and he said. And I'm like, yeah, this is going to be the headquarters, and it's going to be the production, design, and content creation. And that's what I'm doing right now. Like, everything going to be in-house.
Are you leasing it or you bought it?
I paid for it. I mean, I'm in the process of refinancing, though. But I ain't got no choice because I wanted it when I wanted it.
21,000 square feet? I can only imagine what that ticket was because I'm actually I'm always looking at like commercial real estate. Wow.
If y'all hear my stomach, I am hungry.
Oh, look, I am hungry too. Yeah. I eat all day. Yo, but that's crazy.
But it's because I didn't have a choice. Like, we were in the process of like going through the loan.
Choice.
I mean, well, I needed the
21,000. You could have got a little 10 piece.
I needed this property. This property was so important for me to buy, and like I've been looking from January to July, so January to June. So once I finally found it and I knew it was it, they wasn't ready to close on the loan. Okay, I got to put this money up, and then it allowed me to have more leverage for who I want to go with instead of rushing with the bank.
You're a boss, yo. And this is so inspirational. Like, this is no handouts. This ain't no man taking care of you. This ain't like no coming from no rich family. It's like you literally got it out the mud. And I'm actually really glad, that situation didn't work out for you, because I believe you wouldn't be anywhere close to this if you still had that crutch. I don't want to call them crutch, but.
Yeah. But if I just, by a crutch, I mean like, like when you have the crutches, it's like, it's somebody to lean on. And I didn't have nobody to lean on. It was like, look, it's all or nothing. I don't got no kids. And I used to look at it like my mom. Like, my mom was a single mom. She had 2 daughters. And she dropped out of high school because I remember she used to have to take my sister to class. They allowed that back in the day. And she was embarrassed. So she dropped out of high school in the 9th grade. And in 2000, she went back and got her GED. Years later, I forget what year it was. She went, and when she was 28 years old, she went and got her GED. And then she went to school to become a registered nurse. Then she went back and got her master's. So like, me seeing her do that with 2 kids, and at the time I didn't have any kids, I'm like, yo, I don't have nothing stopping me. If she can do it, I can do it. Like, what's stopping me? The only thing stopping me is me. I gotta go hard because my mom made the sacrifice for me to dream. And she's been supporting my dreams the whole time. So I'm like, I'm going to go harder than I ever went. And now my mom is our COO. She got her master's degree in business.
Yeah. Clap that out.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Just a single mom from down the bottom. Like I just my whole life was just different. Like, but I seen her work hard every single day. And that right there, just watching her, it was like, nothing stopping me. Like, I can do whatever I put my mind to. And again, like Oprah, when I was saying, like, I used to watch Oprah growing up. Like, when we grew up, like, she had her mom and dad, but like, it's different when you don't like get told you love, like you're loved every day, So by us watching Oprah, in one of the episodes, she got to see that they were saying that they kiss their kids every night, tell them they love them and pray with them. And she would do that, start to do everything she was learning with me. And I grew up with love, and I give that to my kid. And that's why, like, on my page, I share different things because I'm like, this is my TV show right here. Yeah. I'm going to inspire people. Like, on my Mom in Their Club, I tell moms to do different things, or I try to inspire them to do different things because once you see it, then you know what's real, Yeah. And once you see it, because if you don't see it, you don't know what you're missing, right? Yeah. I remember my friends was like, I didn't realize like what my mom was doing, how big of an impact it was, until I heard my girlfriend, she was on the phone with her mom crying. They were arguing, and she was like, Jamaica mom tell her that she love her every morning. She give her a hug and a kiss before she leave out. She give her a hug and kiss before she go to sleep. Like, you never did that with me. And I'm like, oh, wow. Like, I didn't realize because I become accustomed to it. And I'm like, I'm so grateful for my mom to be doing it, Yeah. And that's why I'm pouring all the love I can into my son. And I'm using my page as an example so people can kind of learn, like, from me, like, okay, this is how you can love your son like this, It's okay. Our boys need love.
Yeah.
They need affection. Like, let's give them that. We can 100%. Raise them to be strong too, but let's raise them with love. So they're not just raised out of the struggle.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for being here. This has been a true delight. I'm inspired. I am really, really inspired and motivated. Like, I realize I'm not working hard enough. I think I'm relying on like my passion and things that I like to do, but I feel like I need to go harder in terms of not like for more money, because it's nothing you could do it. It's nothing you could do with 10 million that you can't do at 15 to 20. It's just, you know what I mean? Like, right. Once you get more, it's just whatever. But being able to inspire more people by the journey. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
How can people get in touch with you and support the brand or the movement?
People can get in touch with me by following me on social media. My name is I Am Milan Rouge on all social media platforms. You can also download our free app on our free Milano Di Rouge app. We give out daily motivational quotes every morning. You can get exclusive discounts and things from our merchandise. We also share like love advice, dating advice, motivational advice on our app too. So it's
who's sharing the dating advice? Are you sharing it?
I put some stuff up
Is
there
that
too.
right?
Yeah. I am a
You
good.
be talking about your dates?
Listen, no, not my dates, but I'll be sharing advice on like first date ideas and like questions to ask your boyfriend. Like I'm all into that.
What was the dopest date you ever been on?
The dopest date I ever been on. I've been on a lot of them.
I can imagine.
So yeah, I've been on a lot of dope dates, like really good ones.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot of them. Just
a date in the sky.
Okay. Okay, I ain't mad at that. Well, thank you so much again. And you gotta close this out. Oh, this is my last question. I got one more. Where do you see yourself, or what do you see yourself accomplishing, or what status in life, whatever that means for you, in the next 5 years? Because I want to be able to watch this 5 years from today and say you predicted it.
All right. So if you know me, you know that I'm really not big on sharing my goals, right? Like I'm always like this work in silence type of person. But what I do want in the next 5 years, I want Milano Di Rouge to be in a few stores, a few really high-end, nice quality stores. I want...
Like what?
Like Saks,
okay.
Nordstrom's,
okay.
Neiman's. Like I feel like our sweatsuits can go on Nordstrom's, our denim can go on Saks, our jackets can go on Saks. And like some like Patron of the New type stores. So I see Milano Di Rouge in stores. I see having fashion shows all over the world, doing panels and speaking engagements all over the world. Okay. Holding a Women Air Club conference, a really amazing conference. Being married, probably with like few little ones.
Ow. Okay.
Yeah, and I just see like making an impact.
Yeah.
And like trying to change people's lives and changing the world for better. Like when you said something about the money before, I feel like once you see it, and you just said like you got to go harder. Because once you see it, you know what's possible, you know? Yeah. And that's why I like to share my journey on social media, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. Yeah. And once you get access, we didn't have access to see a lot of things. 100%. And that's why it wasn't that many black millionaires. Once we saw it and what we can attain, we unstoppable, you know? We came so far, like, don't give up now. If you came this far, David, bro, you got so much, like, that finish line is way closer than where you started from. So you might as well just go harder. Just continue to go hard. But, yeah. I don't know what God got in store for me, but I just know, like, I just want to continue to change lives for the better.
I love it. I love it. Listen, man, give her a round of applause. It was a good episode.
Thank you.
Do yourself a favor, man. Make sure you follow, support all that she's doing. I'm about to go get me a sweat. So I'm about to order me a sweatsuit tonight. Okay.
We got to send you a package. Is this, wait, hold on.
Am I an influencer?
You a big influencer. You know why? Because you influence the masses. You know, like who cares what social media say? Or like who cares about like posting pictures, like whatever they call influencers these days? You a true influencer. You know, you a true influencer. I feel like everybody's an influencer. You know, it's either it's people that influence the masses, and then it's people that influence the people that influence the masses. Either way, you an influencer.
Give me a round of applause. That was good.
Okay. But I did want to say a few things. So
yes, I was actually going to ask you close this out. Okay, say whatever you want to say, and I need you to close this out with a message, a word of wisdom, huh?
Okay.
The cheese what?
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. So.
Oh yeah, yo, we didn't even talk about that. That's crazy. I was so engulfed in the story. Okay, so tell us the story about that first. How it came about. Yeah.
All right, so College Boy Cheesesteaks, it came about because Lemire, he's the owner of Happy Ice. He DM'd me. I had posted up a cheesesteak. I was making like chicken cheesesteaks throughout COVID, throughout the pandemic. And I had posted it on Instagram. And he DM'd me, was like, yo, you want to start a cheesesteak company? And I'm like, I always wanted to start it. I wanted to, like, that's on my vision board. Yeah, call me. So he called me and he told me, he was like.
Did you already know Lemire?
We followed each other, but we wasn't really cool. Like,
wow.
We knew of each other, but we wasn't, like, we would comment on different things because it's so funny. Let me just tell you from the beginning, right? Yeah. When I saw Lemire in California, Lemire moved to Cali like a year before me. I didn't know him at that time, but in 2017, I remember being on my balcony and I was on Instagram and Angelina Jolie was at his Happy Ice truck. And he sold water ice, and water ice is a Philly thing.
Yeah, for sure.
And I remember I'm talking to my roommate. I'm like, yo, this is so dope. You see Angelina Jolie and her kids is at his truck. He from Philly. So right there in my notes, I put down I want to have a cheesesteak truck in LA. Because LA didn't have good cheesesteaks. Yeah. But from me seeing it, it just motivated me like, yo, I want to do a cheesesteak truck. And I want to have all different like Philly type of foods, like tasty cakes and different things. So that was in my notes from 2017. When he hit me up, I'm like, you don't even realize how you even inspired me to have that as a goal.
Wow.
Like, and that was like 5 years ago because he hit me up in 2021. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. And then when he started, he's like, all right, I'm going to just send you everything. So we signed NDAs. He started sending me. He had the full plan. He had the full layout. Like, it was literally like, of course I'm going to invest in this. Right. Like, he had a business plan. He's had how much he was going to make. Like, he had the full layout. And it's something that I wanted to do. And then it meant so much because College Boy cheesesteaks, it was really like something that he wanted to do for his brother. His brother got killed his brother got killed, and his brother's name was College Boy Kev. His brother was the first in their family to graduate college. And right before his graduation ceremony, he got killed a week before on his bike. Mm-hmm. So having the brand be College Boy cheesesteaks, it meant a lot to me because I remember seeing him post it. It was like so heartbreaking to see that. And I'm like, of course I want to be a part of this. Like, and even him telling a story about his mom, how like his mom was a registered nurse too. And his mom, the hospital that his mom worked in is the hospital that his brother died in. And his mom literally got off work. So his mom wasn't at work at the time. She worked the morning of. And she hasn't been to work ever since. So she went through like a depression period. And when he created Happy Ice and she flew out there to work with him, it like started to give her happy back. And he like, now that she got College Boy, because she's our partner too. Yeah. And now that she got College Boy, it was like it's just like she's coming back to life again, you know? Yeah. And it's just a beautiful thing because this is her son. Like her son that's going is like, he birthed this, you know? Yeah, but yeah, so I love it. And I feel like we started as a partnership, but I look at them like a family. I thought y'all knew each other. Y'all knew each other for a minute. No.
Wow. Nope. And look, if y'all want to like Lemire Mitchell, look up the episode Social Proof, Happy Ice. Like he's a brilliant person, but you could feel his heart when he talks.
Yeah. I didn't like I said, I never really had mentors, but having somebody that understand you, because like we're both CEOs, right? He will be reading books and he like, yo, you got to read this book. And I haven't read books. I was buying books and I would probably just read 1 or 2 chapters. But he like, no, you got to read this book. And because he telling me it and he telling me how he applied it to his brand, I'm reading books now. Like he like changing me a lot. Yeah. So it's really dope to have people that's like can inspire you and not be around like most of the people that I'm around is like I'm the one that's inspiring, you know. And I'm not mad at that. Like I'm grateful to God, but having someone else that can pour into you and like motivate you is definitely a blessing. And for the longest, we didn't announce that I was a partner. Mm-hmm. I wanted it to just like be silent, so we can like figure everything out as we go. And we announced it on when I did the Revolt podcast with Rashad and Troy, EYL, and we announced it there. So. Yeah, it's been going really good. So I think that when you did the podcast with him, I don't think we announced our partnership at the time.
I think it was a concept or it wasn't up or something when we did the episode. Okay. But he told me that he was telling me the vision. That's why when it popped up, I said, yo, he just told me he was going to be doing this. So, and then y'all connect. That's perfect. That's amazing. And then y'all have a big win.
Yes, so I'm so excited. February 9th, we are going in Disneyland in Los Angeles.
Disneyland.
And we were selected. Like, it's only 2 businesses that were selected. And we were one of the food trucks that were selected. And I'm just super excited. Like,
in
this is a
Disneyland?
Blessing. Yeah, this is a blessing.
Yo, I thought, like, the whole Disney franchise, that all of the things in Disney World was owned by them. Isn't that typically how it works?
So we're not so our truck, we'll be able to like they got 2 different food trucks that's coming. And they're allowing our trucks to come in.
Right.
Yeah. So
no, that's what I'm saying. I thought like all the stuff that sold was their companies.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, but y'all just get an opportunity to just pull up? Like,
they're letting us do it because they're letting us do it for Black History Month. So they got the other businesses a Black business too. And yeah, it's good. And Lemire's Happy Ice was in there last season, and It was great.
Amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited.
Oh, you should be. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. All right. So now you got to close this out with a word of wisdom, man. You got to put a bow on this whole conversation. We went on a roller coaster of information in this episode. But there's somebody that's watching this right now and they're like, man, I feel what she's saying, but I still don't have the courage to like be that. Like I still don't feel that I can become successful. What would you say to that?
I would say, I wish I practiced something cooler, but I would just say like, it starts with your mind. Like you got to first think, you got to see yourself as this person. Like I always tell people like, do a vision board. Like when you do your vision board, like think about the person that you want to become, not just like the career. Like what type of person you want to become. Like what impact do you want to make on the lives of others? How do you want to change the world? What car you want to drive? What kind of house you want to live in? What city you want to travel to? Like think about all of the things that you want to do so that way when you become successful in your career, you just align your steps. Like everything you do, you just align in your steps. My mom filmed my vision board, my vision board, I think it was probably from 2014. And everything on that vision board I did. The only thing on that vision board I didn't do is say Nordstrom's because I wanted to go in Nordstrom's. Everything on that board I did. I said that I want to make $9,000 a month at least is on there.
Amazing.
So really see yourself as this person and do everything you can in your power to become the person that you want. It's never too late to change. It's never too late to reinvent yourself. Get all of the negative thoughts out your mind. Like the negative people that surround you, you got to let them go. Because on an elevator to success, sometimes you got to let people off to let new people in and just continue to grow. And if you want to fail fast. Why are you taking forever to fail? Just go ahead and just go for it. That's my word for you guys.
I love it. Clap that up, man. That was amazing. We can't close it out no better than that, man. Do yourself a favor, man. Make sure you go follow Milan. Make sure you follow the brand, support and shop, and also go get you some social proof, meaning go build something. Build it really, really big, become really, really successful. But now you have an obligation to come back to your community and teach them how you did what you did, okay? It's the only way our community grows. All right, we are out of here. Peace.
Bye-bye.
If you like the video that you just watched, click this one. You're going to like this one, maybe even more. Click it right now.
So I had a break-even point analysis for every item. Basically, from those 9 items, we made $90,000 because it was a $10,000 break-even point for every 100 items we bought.